Quake, Blood, Doom, and Duke Nukem. 4 legends that carved their names into the books of gaming history. 4 timeless classics, each with its own engine, mechanics, and unique vibe. Yet, all adored by the same bloodthirsty, adrenaline-fueled fanbase. What if I told you? There is a new contender that's been lurking in the shadows, ready to throw its hat into the ring. A game that channels the soul of those icons while blending in some fresh modern twists. Today, we're about to find out if Gravelord is the one to take up the mantle of these legendary shooters. And my name is Slim Bratsky, your trusty guide into the world of fast-paced, brutal indie games. If there is blood to be spilled and chaos to be had, you bet that I will be all over it. And believe me when I say that Gravelord does not disappoint. This is a game that brings the raw energy of those classic first-person shooters, with an atmosphere so thick that you can practically feel it pressing towards your chest. It's that kind of a game that never lets go of you. You just always want to come back for more. So if you're ready for some high-octane mother-flipping action and chaos, well, don't skip this video. Let's go! Gravelord, developed by Fatbot Games. Yep, you heard that completely right. A studio with no prior first-person titles under its belt decided to dive headfirst into the realm of boomer shooters. And wow, never in my wildest dreams did I imagine it becoming one of my favorite entries into this subgenre. Let me rewind time just a little bit, for you see, my gaming background is rooted in heavy hitters like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft and Destiny. Indie games? They were barely on my radar until I started creating videos on YouTube about 2.5 to 3 years ago. But oh, how the tides have changed. The world of indie games, more specifically the blood-soaked brutal ones, is an absolute marvel to behold, which means that I played a shit ton of boomer shooters for the past 2.5 to 3 years. It embodies the raw essence of what gaming used to be, pure, unadulterated fun, and Gravelord is no exception. Its main goal is simple: deliver a shit ton of fun. No microtransactions, no locked weapons hidden behind battle passes, just raw, brutal enjoyment. And while that might sound straightforward, creating a game that embodies fun and delivering it with the right mix of elements for an unforgettable experience is no small feat. Yet, Gravelord freaking nails it, despite the tough competition out there. And let me explain why. The game drops you into its world with a simple yet engaging premise. You play as the Gravelord, a hulking beast of a man, strong as the Hulk. But, well, let's just say his intellect leaves something to be desired. He's on a mission to avenge his father, who was brutally slain. Now the story, it unfolds through beautifully crafted comic book style cutscenes. They're a joy to watch and listen to, and while I know some of you might raise an eyebrow at the thought of cutscenes in a boomer shooter, hear me out. They are actually perfectly balanced, not too intrusive, just enough to guide you through the narrative without overstaying their welcome.
You work your arse off to provide them with proper final accommodations and those ungrateful wretches.
And if you want more of the story, the game actually has comic books scattered throughout the levels. These gems, they're filled with hand-drawn artwork and just enough text to provide depth to the story. It's a brilliant way to immerse players further into the lore without forcing it down their throats. I mean, hell, even my kids could get into it if they wanted to. It's that accessible. Now let's get to the heart of the game, the carnage. This is where Gravelord truly shines. The movement, it's slick, almost like surfing, but with precise, responsive controls that makes navigating the battlefield a freaking blast. Couple that with an arsenal of brutal, uniquely designed weapons, and you've got a recipe for non-stop excitement. From a flintlock pistol to a pirate ship-themed grenade launcher, every weapon is distinct and satisfying to use. And let's not forget, in a boomer shooter, 2 things are absolutely essential: fast, fluid movement and weapons that pack a freaking punch. Gravelord, it nails both of it. But it doesn't stop there. What I mean is, to stand out in a world already filled with boomer shooters, a new game has to do something different. Enter the tarot cards, or as I like to call them, upgrade cards. Yeah, I know I butchered that pronunciation, but bear with me here, okay? These cards, they work almost as a roguelike mechanic, which is a bold choice for a linear campaign game. You'll get to choose from 1 out of 3 cards, each offering different upgrades, and you can equip up to 3 at a time. But here's the kicker, you'll have access to way more than 3 cards, so you'll need to strategize, weigh the risk versus reward, and pick upgrades that complement your playstyle. It's a small but brilliant addition that keeps the gameplay fresh and engaging. And speaking of upgrades, the weapons themselves are upgradable too, but these aren't just handed to you. You will need to hunt for them in well-hidden secrets scattered throughout the levels. Now these upgrades, they add interesting twists, like a burst fire mode for the flintlock pistol or a powerful pushback effect for the shotgun. While they might not drastically change the tide of battle, they do make combat more dynamic and rewarding. Another thing that truly twists the gameplay is the shovel. At first, the shovel acts as a normal melee weapon, but in each level you can find an upgrade that turns it into a spectral shovel, meaning that you can teleport with it to any place in the map that has a blue glowing area. This can be used in combat to flank your enemies, it can be used for platforming and secrets, and it feels good, and it has a quick button for extra fast usage during combat that is just... oh, sometimes you can just nail it with that thing, trust me. And then there is the level design. Oh freaking boy, the level design. It's nothing short of a freaking masterpiece. From verticality that's perfectly placed to environments that are stunning as they are varied. Every level is a playground for freaking chaos, loaded with of course secrets. Some easy to find, others devilishly hidden, but all of them rewarding. It's some of the best level design I've ever seen in a boomer shooter, hands down. And the best part? This game is just getting started. What I've played is only the first stage of early access, offering 8 levels, which is the first episode of the game. But there is more to come, including additional episodes and a level editor. Oh, and did I mention that there is already an endless mode? Hell, that was even included in the demo. The only thing missing at this point is some multiplayer freaking carnage. Okay, that's cool. That is some cool ass platforming. So to wrap it up, my friends, Gravelord stands tall as one of the finest boomer shooters to come out in recent memory. It nails that sweet spot of nostalgia while infusing just the right amount of modern flair. This game knows exactly what it wants to be and does it without hesitation. An explosive cocktail of old school charm and fresh innovation that'll keep you hooked from start to finish. Dynamic gameplay is what really sets it apart. Whether you're slinging powerful weapons or choosing upgrades from the tarot cards, the thrill of discovery is ever present. The level design is superb, each area packed with secrets that rewards those who take the time to explore, ensuring there's always something new to uncover. And when you throw in the metal-infused soundtrack that pounds your ears as you tear through enemies, it just elevates the entire experience to a whole new level. And now while the story is there if you want it, it's definitely not the focus of the game, and that's a good thing in my book. Gravelord knows what we're here for: brutal, fast-paced action. It's all about the chaos of blasting through waves of enemies, unlocking new weapons and picking up those roguelike upgrades that can completely change the tide of battle. But if I have to nitpick just a little bit, I say that the weapons could benefit from a little more polish, maybe some added sway when strafing or smoother recoil animations when you fire. But it's a minor issue in the grand scheme of things, because the hit feedback is already fantastic. In short, Gravelord is a must-play for anyone who likes well-crafted, action-packed, fast-paced shooters that also honors the classics while blazing its own trail. It's brutal, it's fun, and it's well worth your time. I highly recommend it, especially if you've been craving a proper modern boomer shooter. This is it. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and if you enjoy games like this, remember to hit that like and subscribe, because my mission here is to bring you the best and most brutal indie games out there, not just first-person shooters. And for the love of everything, please remember that Papa Slim loves ya.